Hello everyone. I've been receiving a lot of positive feedbacks and comments on the first video so far, so thank you so much for supporting me. And thank you to some fan pages and some public sites who that have shared my work. I'm very glad that you found it helpful and you helped me to bring it to a larger scale audience. But next time, if you mean to share my work, please let me know in advance so that I will not be surprised. It was a nice surprise, though, that some people messaged me on Facebook saying that they saw my work on some websites that I even didn't know that you posted there. Thank you anyway, and this is the second part of the video. We've gone through the diet, and now we're gonna come to exercises. I call it exercises because this is the most challenging part of completing the applications. It takes a lot of time and efforts, and many people would give up at this point. So just let's see how many obstacles we need to overcome to fulfill our application. As you already can guess, it should be the personal statements with other essays and the letter of recommendations. But before coming to that, let's look at our warm-up activities with the myths and misunderstandings about the program. This is a kind of Q&A or frequently asked questions about this particular program so far. This is what I've been asked or seeing people concerned about. So I'm trying to summarize the things that I've gone through here. Firstly, is the foreign language teaching assistant program a degraded version, or with a nicer word, is it a easier version of Fulbright Vietnamese students, or the traditional program of the Fulbright Vietnam that supports students to go to the US for the master's degree? I would say that with the Fulbright Vietnamese students, as far as I know, it's open to so many different fields or different majors, while the foreign language teaching assistant program is only for teachers who are teaching English in particular, or who are working in the related field of American studies, American cultures and American studies. So as you could see, the scale of the two programs is very different. Of course, the criteria, because the scale is smaller, so it's less competitive, obviously. And this is also a non-degree exchange program. So if you are aiming for a degree or something that you can bring back, I'm not sure whether this is a good match for you. I am not involved in the selecting process to say whether it's easier, or to say that whether they are selecting less qualified candidate. But I believe that whatever the panelists would be, it's not only the Fulbright scholarship. The churches are supposed to choose the best or the most suitable candidates in that year so far, that they've got so far. So it would be a misunderstanding if you think that, oh, I'm not confident with my ability, or I'm not confident with my background to go for the Vietnamese students, so I'm applying for the Fulbright FLTA instead. It depends on what you need and what you are looking at a chance and opportunity. Because if you already got FLTA, it seems less possible for you to get the Fulbright Vietnamese students again another time. You need to wait for at least 5 years, as I remember, but it would not guarantee that you're gonna get Fulbright for the second time of your life in your life. And also with the with the uncertainty of funding for education international in America, as you may already heard of, I don't think that it is a good choice that, or there is a good chance that you're gonna get another Fulbright grant after getting the Fulbright FLTA or any other Fulbright scholarship. So just for you to consider if FLTA is really suitable for what you are looking for. I think it would be easier in terms of being less competitive because the scale is small, as I said previously. So not many people are qualified to apply compared to the Fulbright Vietnamese students, which is open for most of the social sciences field or majors. There's no GRE score required for the Fulbright FLTA because you are not officially studying. You would be non-classified student or a change student. As I know, only in Hawaii that the Fulbright FLTA would have part-time credits. That means you are allowed to study up to 6 credits a semester. So you have 12 credits in total with an official transcript, academic transcript from the host institution to bring back with you. With other universities, it's possibly that you would audit or sit into the class. So what is the biggest difference between taking credits and sitting in or auditing is that with auditing, you will not need to complete the homeworks, you will not need to take tests or exams or finals. You will just basically sit there as long as the professor allowed you to be in their class. And you might not have the academic transcript to bring back with you, or if you want to transfer your credits later, like me, because I did take some courses related to my master field when I were at UH Manoa as an FLTA. So it is much more convenient for me to transfer the available credits into my current academic transcript. So so you would probably study and you are required to take courses, but I'm not sure how many credits other institutions other than Hawaii, would offer you as the FLTA. Another thing is many people told me that, I heard from many ones that I'm not qualified enough for the master program, so I want to take the FLTA. But even if you are applying for master in TESOL, for example, you are aiming to apply for master in TESOL. If you go for Fulbright Vietnamese students, the required background for the two programs are also different. For example, FLTA would not be a good match for you if you are a perfect or you are an excellent English teacher, but your Vietnamese knowledge, your Vietnamese syntax, your Vietnamese grammars and spellings and pronunciations have problems. Or if you feel like I'm not a strong Vietnamese language user, even if I'm a native speaker, this is not something shameful at all. This is very normal. I know and meet a lot of people around me who occasionally or even usually make grammar or spelling mistakes while writing or speaking Vietnamese. And also, if you are not able to recognize or to understand different kinds of Vietnamese accents or dialects, for example, if you cannot understand Huế accent, or if you found it difficult to understand your grandparents since they use many outdated languages, then this might not be a suitable program for you, because as a Vietnamese language teacher in general, you are supposed to understand your students, and the majority of your students are not the ones who come from Vietnam. Many of them are Vietnamese heritage speakers who have only Vietnamese language exposure from their parents, from their community, from people who left the country many decades ago and brought that Vietnamese or that kind of language with them to the US. So consider that when you think of applying for the program. The FLTA and the Vietnamese students are two different things. It's not like one is a easier version and one is a fancier version. I hope this information helpful. Second, some things that you would be concerned about your qualifications, about the BA degree, about your teaching place or teaching home institution in Vietnam, etc. My BA was not English teaching, or I wasn't trained academically in teaching. That's why I feel like this FLTA year would be a perfect gap year for me. It is a transition year for me to learn more about teaching, both theory and practice, because I wasn't trained as university for that. My BA was translation. With the teaching place, I believe that Fulbright doesn't look for the public sectors only, or you don't need to be a government teacher, or you don't need to work at a public institution so as to apply for the foreign language teaching assistant program. My home institution was Huế College of Industry, and it doesn't belong to the Ministry of Education and Training. It's a public school, but it doesn't belong to the Ministry of Education and Training. It's a vocational college, actually. So it's not really like foreign languages university, excuse me. Because it's a college of industry, so the main focus of the college isn't teaching English or teaching foreign language. So that you would be like more confident about your about your qualifications or about your working condition. But luckily, I have really good supervisors who are really supportive for me in applying for scholarship. Oh, by the way, I was a contract teacher. I wasn't a government teacher or an official teacher. Nói tiếng Việt là mình là giáo viên hợp đồng, chứ mình không phải là giáo viên biên chế. Đúng rồi, không phải là giáo viên biên chế ở nhà. Và mình dạy trường Cao đẳng Công nghiệp Huế là một trường của Bộ Công Thương, chứ không phải là của Bộ Giáo dục. That's about the teaching place. What else? What else should I share here in the qualifications? You don't need any kind of teaching certificates. I didn't have any so far, I think. And my teaching experience was one semester at the time I applied. But at the time of departure, it was 3 semesters. Alright, some considerations in your personal backgrounds. The most important thing is the IELTS. They will not choose you just based on the IELTS, but because you are coming to America to teach. So, I mean, the English proficiency test is a proof that you are qualified for the job. And that is just for applying. For some specific institutions, they have their own standard and their own placement test if your English proficiency level doesn't meet the requirement to be a teaching assistant. Because honestly speaking, even if American students, or I mean official students, ongoing students at university level in America, not everyone would be offered a teaching assistantship. You must be very outstanding. You must be very on the top of the candidate or in the top of your peers so as to be offered the TA position. So some institutions have their specific requirements for the TAs. So as I shared before, my BA wasn't teaching. I'm not sure this is what I will recommended by some of you, that should you share a little bit about your personal backgrounds or personal conditions. I'm from a small province and a small college. I hadn't have any real learning abroad before coming to the Fulbright FLTA. I felt with whatever I applied for, So yeah, I hope that it is a way to motivate you then. The working environment for Fulbright FLTA in the US, I didn't experience other places, so I would say about Hawaii in particular, because that is where I know best. I guess I know it enough to share with you. As a teaching assistant for the Vietnamese language program at University of Hawaii at Manoa, we have a department called the Indo-Pacific Languages and Literatures Department, and the Vietnamese FLTA supervisors, or I mean the Vietnamese professors, is the chairman of the department. We offer we technically we're supposed to offer 4 levels. That means it's equivalent to a BA degree in Vietnamese language. But in practice, we can only offer Vietnamese elementary and intermediate. So the Vietnamese elementary and intermediate is gonna go along like in parallel to each other. You're gonna have the elementary class, or I mean the 101 in the fall semester and the 102 in the spring semester, from 8:30 to 9:20 a.m. in the morning from Monday to Thursday, and from 9:30 to 10:20 is going to be the intermediate level, or 201 and 202. The program has their fixed textbook, and the syllabus is assigned by the professor. It depends on different people that experience different things, different feelings, different emotions with the program and with the professor. But so far, the majority of students are Vietnamese heritage students. We do have international students in the class, but not everyone is international or American. We have most of the time we have Vietnamese heritage speakers who speak Southern dialects. The professor is American, and another lecturer is Vietnamese native who speak Northern dialect. So the working environment is kind of diverse. We have the Vietnamese Students Association in Hawaii. We meet regularly and participate in many international events hosted by UH Manoa and hosted by SOS Center, and also some community activities as well. I'm very grateful to be here in Hawaii because actually I came here with no expectation, and I didn't know anyone in person in Hawaii before. I actually didn't have any connection with Hawaii, but in turn, I got amazing experience with wonderful friends who I love so dearly and consider as part of my family. The environment and the weather is wonderful. It's not too hot, it's not too cold, it's sunny and rainbows all year round. And there's a lot of trails for hiking, a lot of beaches. You're gonna experience snorkeling, diving, kayaking, and many more. So I could understand why not many people consider Hawaii as their destination for the Fulbright Foreign Language Teaching Assistantship. because I wasn't listed Hawaii as my first choice as well. But I hope that you would not believe in the gossiping myth or the misunderstandings or the bad experiences from any other people, because Hawaii is actually a wonderful place to explore, and you will find that your